it's Natasha here from Big Rock Organics, and I wanted to share with you week 1 of the CSA. Can you hardly believe it? Here we are. So we've got lots of delicious green things in your box this week. Definitely all the flavors of spring. So we've got spinach, and this is some beautiful spinach this week that we've been picking. It is wonderful to eat fresh, but it's also super delicious. Sautéed, one of my favorite things is to just very simply, any green that you want to cook, just put a little olive oil and some garlic and a dash of cayenne pepper if you want a little bit of heat, and just saute the greens for just like a couple minutes till they wilt, and then put a squeeze of lemon juice or a tiny bit of vinegar, and then a little sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, and it's just delicious. It also makes a really good filling for an omelet or a quiche or any sort of pasta dish, and you can do that with any green. So having spinach today is wonderful, but it also works wonderfully for Swiss chard or kale or any of those cooking greens. Now you also probably will want to take the stem off of these guys, and so as you do that, you want to take your leaf, fold it in half, hold it so that it's folded, and then you just take and you can very simply just kind of pull that stem off of there, and easy peasy. So one of the things I like to do with all my greens is to go ahead and wash them, and I use a salad spinner, and then I store them in the salad spinner in the fridge. That way they can kind of like get a little air and they last a little longer. So we've got lettuce next. Let's open this bad boy up. So this is a lettuce mixture. I think we've got 3 different kinds of lettuces in here. And oh, they're just so beautiful. You should have seen the room with all the different colors of green. Isn't that just gorgeous? So we've got black-seeded Simpson, which is a wonderful heirloom. We've got some Bib, and we've got some of the red, I think that's ruby lettuce there. Always delicious. So I just wash my lettuce, keep it in the fridge, and that way I find it's a lot easier to go ahead and just throw it on a sandwich or have a side salad. If it's there and washed, it's just easy to go ahead and use anytime. I also like to make salads and kind of do an assembly line. So whether you do the salads in a jar or just go ahead and take Pyrex containers and make individual salads, that's really a nice time saver for the week, and you find that you're more motivated if it's already made and in the fridge to eat it. So lots of great lettuces, and those are gonna last you all week long if you don't end up devouring them first. So we've also got arugula, all the great greens this week. Arugula's got a little bit of a kick to it. I love it on pizza. So it is just terrific on pizza, on the top of pizza. I just tear it a little bit and then drizzle a balsamic reduction. It's a little bit thicker. Well, it's very, very much thicker than balsamic vinaigrette, and it is so good. So that fresh arugula on top of the hot pizza, and then the balsamic to kind of offset it, is really wonderful. Also, arugula with any sort of citrus salad is delicious, or citrus dressing. And also you can mix it with the other greens for a nice mixture and a little bit of flavor. It's great on a sandwich. Do like a roast beef and horseradish and arugula sandwich. And you can also throw it into a pasta and just kind of let it wilt with the pasta as well. So lots of great things there, and that is the arugula. This has definitely been a very funky spring. We have experienced a lot of cold weather and then these heat bursts, and it's been very up and down. We've been trying really hard to get everything planted in between rainstorms. In fact, this Monday we picked everything in the rain, so it's been an extra challenging spring season. So bear with us. We are trying to make sure that everything gets done and growing, but we might be having a few delays as we've experienced a very, very late spring this year. So we've got some of these scallions. These are so delicious. So these are purple scallions, and they are all edible, whole thing, and you just want to take and cut them, kind of peel off, some of this extra skin here. and then just chop them up, and I use them in place of an onion and anything, and they've got a little more delicate of flavor. So you want to throw them in at the end of your cooking rather than to saute them in the beginning. I always cut mine up and then I just put them in a little container and I keep them in the fridge, and that way anytime I need a little onion something rather, put that on. One of my favorite things for salads is to always have 4 things with my salad. I have my onion of some sort, I have a fruit of some sort, I have a cheese of some sort, and a nut of some sort. And that with the greens, you can just make the greatest combinations of salads, and scallions are such a wonderful onion to use for any of your salads or anything else where you want a little onion flavor. So we've got those little puppies. We've got these gorgeous Easter egg radishes, aptly named. Aren't they so cute? Oh my goodness. So the hot weather really made these guys grow super quick, so they are still very delicious even though they are jumbo-sized radishes. And they are delicious. The greens are also edible if you're feeling adventuresome. You can saute them and you can use them like you would a cooked green. So if you want to do that. Otherwise, you know, all those great greens make very good compost if you're not going to use the tops from the root vegetables. Okay, we've got another interesting root vegetable. These guys are one of my new favorite things. These are called Hakurai turnips. Yes, they kind of look like a radish, but they're actually a turnip, and they are like a super sweet, super crunchy. You could eat it like an apple turnip. And that might sound weird, especially if you've not had turnips before, but these have a wonderful flavor and they're very crispy and crunchy. They're great in Asian inspired dishes, so they make a really wonderful pickle. They also make a really wonderful roasted vegetable. You can also take and just use them raw with a little bit of dip. And they are just so good. They're like kind of a crunchy watercress. Don't have a ton of flavor, but they are kind of a little bit sweet. These are very quick growing, so they're almost like a radish, but they don't have any heat. So that's kind of fun. And they are just, I think, so beautiful, just all round and smooth and whatnot. We just discovered these last year and fell in love with them. I won't grow any other turnips because these are just so tasty, so amazing and delicious. I'm like, why would you ever want any other kind of turnip? So those are the Hakurei turnips. And we have rhubarb. So rhubarb is delicious, but you don't want to eat the leaves. Those leaves are poisonous, so don't eat the leaves. But I take and cut this up and use it either in baked goods. You can make a nice sauce to go over like ice cream or cake. You can also take and eat it raw. My dad used to dip it in sugar as a kid and just kind of chew on it. I'm sure that's wonderful for sugar consumption, but you know, it's kind of like the old-fashioned, you know, sour airhead sort of idea. So it is a fun spring item. I don't know if it's a fruit or a vegetable technically, and we have that for this week. So enjoy your rhubarb. I like to make a rhubarb crumble muffin, or if you didn't get around to it, you can always chop it up and freeze it and then use rhubarb anytime you want. It's great in a pie, like any sort of pie, an apple rhubarb pie, a peach rhubarb pie, a blueberry rhubarb pie. You get the idea. So very excited about that. And last but not least, you'll notice beautiful asparagus. Now we actually get our asparagus from another local farmer, Windy Acres in Geneva, and they grow the asparagus. We haven't quite gotten an asparagus plot on our farm yet. Hopefully someday maybe in the works, but you can't do everything, right? They do it so beautifully. So all kinds of gorgeous things you can do. Roast your asparagus. My husband likes to just saute it in butter. Honestly, it's one of my favorite ways to prepare almost every vegetable. Just saute it in butter, get that butter nice and browned and nutty flavored, and then throw your vegetables in and literally just kind of sear it a little bit and get it a little black on one side, and then put a little squeeze of lemon over top of it. It is delicious. So yes, the locally grown asparagus is a fun treat this week. So lots of great things, and we are looking forward to how the flavors change and develop over the course of the summer. This is week 1, and we'll see all these spring flavors for several more weeks, especially due to the late spring that we've had so far. So enjoy. I'm going to give you some ideas and recipes as well, and I hope that you are inspired with your box this week. Thanks for joining me, Natasha Lara Lewis from Big Rock Organics.